Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. We have lots of information and teasers for animals in games, space cows, whales, also some cool tevarin helmets, new Stanton System Locations and updates, and we will have a quick look at where we are with Alpha 3.9.0 on the PTU, and roadmap updates for Squadron 42, or at least a statement on that. They talked about non-humanoid creatures that will populate the verse in Calling All Devs, Bugs, Boids, and Beasts. There are three major types of animals that we will see: insects or minor critters that will be more VFX based and passive to an area. We might see these like on trees or insects in the sky and air, but they might not be otherwise interactable or gatherable or something like that. There are boids, which are more sort of like small creatures like rats, frogs, snakes, or in Star Citizen lore, I suppose, Ranta and the Oni crabs, little floating things, the scavengers that we saw in Loreville around Hurston. There are larger creatures too, ranging from cows and herd animals, apex predators to sandworms. Sandworms are native to Lear 3, so we're not going to have them just around random planets so much. Probably not anyway, unless, you know, there's a reason in lore for them to have moved around or migrated. Some of these animals will be common across planets and systems as they have been farmed or otherwise migrated though. You'll see that across UEE territory, for example, where a lot of plant life and a lot of the animals will be very similar because they seed planets with them. They are looking at the Kaza Grazer, otherwise known as the space cow, as one of the first larger creatures in game. When I say larger, it's probably about the size of a cow. This will give them a pipeline for a lot of other four-legged creatures that will eventually be in game. They need to work out its rig and pathing, AI and behaviors. They also need to get usables for it as well, because it needs to be able to go to a river bank or watering hole and drink, and then go to its den and sleep and find places that it can eat. It's going to have a 24-hour or whatever hour schedule. So it's going to have a schedule, a daily schedule, shall we say. So it will do things throughout the day, whatever sort of planet it is on. These large warm-blooded herd animals were originally discovered on the vast plains of Kazi on Terra. They have an unusual method for carrying their young. They are common now to many planets in the UEE, as they're used to seed planets after terraforming, and their eggs are used for cooking, as is their meat. Nom nom nom. They are a one-stop shop as an agriculture animal and farming animal, it seems. Their hides can also be used for like tanning and leather work, basically. They mentioned heavy winter clothing is made out of it in certain areas. Terraforming and the commonality of animals in the UEE, for example, allows the devs to be more detailed with those creatures. So CIG, Cloud Imperium, doesn't have a million different species in game, at least that they'll make. They just have a few dozen common ones, and then they'll make variants on them, and then different skins and things like that. So you have variants within each of those even. And then they'll make a few more distinct ones, unique species to fill it out as well. Some apex predators, some big things. And then they can build on that over time. They don't have to have these like billions of infinitely procedurally generated animals that other games like No Man's Sky has, for example. It's very much, they go, well, let's focus on animals that we will see in the verse regularly, and ones that make sense, and then build upon that. As with all things Star Citizen, they want quality and sort of detail over quantity. So you're not going to see procedurally generated animals in Star Citizen. You're going to see very much, well, you'll see procedurally generated as in variants of them with skins and stuff, but you're going to see very highly detailed animals with a few more unique ones mixed in. So across the UE planets, you're also likely to see similar plant life, as I said earlier, because they typically have the same sort of like plants that they bring to worlds. They seed worlds with the same sort of plants. I like that idea. Again, detail and quality over quantity. The next big creature that they want to do after that is the massive space whales. Now, these are going to be native to the gas giant Crusader in the Stanton system. They live in the denser areas of the planet, but they do come to the surface out of the sort of like very, very dangerous gas. They come sort of like there and breach, so you'll see them occasionally. They sort of like want to have tours where they might have NPCs zipping you around looking at space whales. They don't have a proper name yet, those space whales, and they might have rare materials on them to harvest. Space ambergris has my vote. That makes sort of sense. That's whale vomit. But maybe you can mine deposits off them or pick space barnacles off them or even hunt them, though they didn't seem to be going down the hunting route with space whales. That is very much still being worked out, though, all of that, but they want it to be a race against time. If a whale breaches, if there's gameplay associated with that, you'd only be able to sort of like be able to do stuff with that whale for a very brief period of time before it was then unreachable or in dangerous area again. They are going to be working on some dangerous animals as well, sort of like, it sounded like pack animals and predators of some description. We don't have dates on any of the fauna coming into the game, but they are working on these and other pieces now. In this month's Jump Point, the RSI subscriber magazine, there was actually quite a lot of cool stuff. Tevarin helmets I want to show off here. They are very cool. I very much like the look of tactical bird, samurai, and ninja. The sort of like beaked helmets just look superb here. We may very well see Tevarin characters in Squadron 42 and around the persistent universe in UEE areas in the not too distant future, because they're much integrated and part of society for the UEE. It's cool stuff. Really like the look of this. New locations were shown off on Inside Star Citizen this week as well. Grimhex updates, the Aaron Halo, the massive asteroid fields, and transit gates there. Cargo facilities for stations. We also got to see the Cutlass Blue and more points of interest, derelicts, and that sort of stuff that are being placed around the universe on planets and moons. This week's sneak peek from the newsletter was of updates to Grimhex, looking at its racing lounge, where I assume you wait and view ship races that are going to be there in the future. There are no major changes in the roadmap this week for the persistent universe. We are on the first wave of the PTU for the 3.9 patch currently, and it is in patch 3.9.0Q at the moment, and they're trying to fix various bugs, but the major issue really is frame rates, because they're not consistent and they're a bit erratic. In certain areas, for me, I would actually drop to single-digit FPS, which is not great. It's the only place I've actually experienced that is the Klesham prison mines. It's not great frames. That's pretty bad. I need to sort that out. There are massive improvements with the patch. Other than that, though, I'll get a focused video on that up ASAP with the P and Q patch updates. We should see a wider PTU going out to more players next week, in my opinion. With Squadron 42, Cloud Imperium have released a bit more of a statement, because currently the Squadron 42 roadmap has paused. They're still working on Squadron 42, it's where the lion's share of development is going, but they have paused the way they're sort of conveying the roadmap information to us. We're still getting monthly reports, we're still getting some information, but they said, we're working on an updated way to share our progress on Squadron 42, and are doing that with the feedback you all have given us in mind. We've been experimenting with converting our internal sprint blocks into something that we can display and maintain publicly. We're actually really excited to share more on this soon. Also, we have Brian Chambers back in front of the camera to give us another update on the team and how things are going in the very near future. So I'm looking forward to animals being in the game ASAP. Like, oh, animals, cool. I'm hoping for both big game hunting and arable farming to be both solid gameplay opportunities in the future. I know it's not going to be in the very near future, but I like those sort of like gameplay ideas. In fact, farming in Albion Online and Rust has made me realise just how much I enjoy the more chillaxed aspects of games a lot of the time. I used to be a miner in EVE as well, so I like mining and things like that. Squadron 42 updates. Give me Squadron 42 updates. Very excited about that. We want to know how much, if at all, it's been delayed because of the global situation, and just general give us a bit of a roadmap update to see where we are with that. I think some people are expecting a quarter or two delay for Squadron, but we don't know is the problem. We literally just don't know yet. But what do you think? Do you like the look of the Space Cow? Are you happy about Space Whales, or did you originally think they were a troll? Do you want to be a space farmer or a space poacher? Do you think we will have the Aaron Halo and the Stanton system almost finished this year? Do you still think we'll see Pyro this year, the new star system that they're currently working on? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. For April, we are giving away a Cutlass Black and Star Citizen game package. Just comment on any of my videos made during this month of April to be in for a chance of winning that. I am a shill for a couple of companies, NordVPN and NordPass. If you are looking for a VPN or a password management system, I recommend you check them out. They've got many benefits over free services, and as I'm pretty security conscious, I love those kind of services. Also, there's Shadow Shadow. If you are thinking about getting a new gaming rig or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or whatever, then consider Shadow instead. It is a internet cloud-based subscription service like Stadia, like GeForce Now, but this one gives you access to a full Windows 10 environment which is fully customizable, and that is significantly better in my opinion, allowing you to do a lot more with it. Check out the links below for them or use the code BoredGamer for discount. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, there is Patreon, there's the YouTube join member button down below. That really helps. This is a community supported channel and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the support that I get. If you want to share these videos, if you want to comment, give feedback, whatever, that is also hugely appreciated. Thanks very much for watching, guys. You take care and I'll see you in the verse.